Savannah Pasha is a sophomore at Marin Catholic High School. When she's not at school, she's on the stage, dancing. But wherever she is, whatever she does, she's battling type 1 diabetes.
Savannah was diagnosed July 21st, 2008. It changed our family. It's been a struggle. There are a lot of things she has to manage that make you sad as a parent that her childhood isn't as simple as it could be.
In order for me to stay healthy, I have to check my blood sugar, count my carbs when I eat, take insulin. Type 1 diabetes is part of who I am.
Savannah has no choice but to manage her disease in public, which is how people hear about her illness. People like McNamara, the mother of 4.
There was a girl in the community, and I would hear stories about how this girl had been diagnosed and, she wasn't able to go to certain classes because she wasn't feeling well. And so I would roll my eyes and think, so you take a shot of insulin or do whatever and go about your way. I definitely was misinformed. I really thought it was somebody else's problem. I never thought it would happen to me.
Matthew McNamara is Janine's oldest son. 2 years ago, he experienced a variety of seemingly benign symptoms. Janine brought him to the doctor. They left with a diagnosis. Matthew had type 1 diabetes. He was admitted into the hospital.
I was out in the waiting room with our younger 3 sons, and they were just sitting on the ground praying. They knew something was wrong with their older brother, and so they were really devastated.
To me, when I heard diabetes, I was like, I did something wrong. I felt that I was the cause of it. I didn't understand what the disease was. And it was pretty sad. I cried. I'll be honest. I mean, it was a pretty sad moment. I knew it would change my life forever.
And the lives of his entire family. It's been a steep learning curve for Janine and her husband Mike, as they've had to embrace the regimen that keeps their son alive.
It's about the daily shots, it's about the daily testing, it's about every time you put food in your mouth, thinking about it. And if you do take your insulin, great. And if you don't take your insulin, worrying about not taking it and worrying about the long-term effects.
So does anybody need to check out a laptop?
Matthew's really aware of kidney failure. He's afraid of losing his sight. He was scared to death that that's going to happen to him. And it breaks my heart that a kid who's 14 years old should have to worry about that.
Go ahead.
Matthew worries, but would rather talk baseball than blood sugar levels. He thinks a lot about his life before diabetes.
When I was 12, I didn't have to worry about all this, and I always really liked that. I always felt, like a kid, but when I got diabetes, I didn't really feel like a kid again.
You want to be here. We're catching stuff here.
So I really felt like, no one knows what I'm going through. I just kind of felt like I was the only one going through this.
Until he met schoolmate Savannah Pasha.
When Matthew was diagnosed a few months after Savannah, we got calls and people telling us, do you know about the McNamara family? And so we called them. And that was sort of how the friendship started.
Elise is somebody who, when she calls and says, how's Matthew doing? She really wants to know how Matthew's doing. She gave me the friendship that she was there right with me, in the trenches, trying to help my son.
As 2 mothers reached out to each other for support and comfort, so too did their children.
My friendship with Savannah has shown me that I'm not alone. It was kind of nice that when I had to check my blood, I didn't feel alone because I had a friend who also had to check their blood, or if I had to take a bolus or a shot, someone else was taking a bolus or a shot with me.
I have somebody who knows exactly what I'm going through and can support me, and when I am having trouble, can understand what it is and kind of point out the good things and that it's going to get better. Matthew is one of my best friends.
Savannah has taught me to, always persevere, be yourself, and just always work hard. It's a really, really good friendship.
It's hard to know what's coming ahead for someone. The management gets harder and the challenges become more real. I think it's always a comfort to know the other person is there And in those every so often dark days when things are frustrating, the other person is there to bring you up.
2 children, 2 families brought together by adversity, are today bonded through compassion, caring, and a singular goal.
The patients in McNamara's are waiting for a cure.
We absolutely need a cure for this disease because I know it and a lot of other kids who have the disease know it. It's terrible. No one should ever have to go through this.
Until that day, a young dancer and a baseball player will pursue their dreams the best they can with the support of their families and each other.
Matthew and Savannah are blessed to have each other. They totally give each other permission to dream and be bold and, look ahead.
Me and Savannah are definitely fighters. This disease isn't going to stop us. We're going to keep on powering through.
First it was the Pashas, and then the McNamaras. Tomorrow it will be somebody else, and on it goes. And somewhere along the line, we need to find a way to make it stop.